Relationships, they don't get easier with age. In fact, you can look around in midlife and find that many of the relationships you used to have, they're no longer there. Friends move away, families shift, busy lives take over. But not only that, social interaction seems to be going out of style, whether it's with our close loved ones or the strangers we encounter. So welcome to part 4 of my cheat code series. And today we're talking about relationships and community with a Gen X slant. By the end of this video, you'll have codes for treating loneliness, relationship ruts. You'll even get the building codes for community and your hangout place away from home. So here's your download. Okay, cheat code number 1 is for your family and long-term relationships. I mean, at our age, long-term relationships, they can carry a lot of baggage. And the goal isn't to fix every mistake or go back in time. Mostly what's needed is to update our relationship for who we are now and who they are now. You know, nostalgia and reminiscing, they can be fun and it can even be healthy, but don't count on the good old days coming back to fix things or to rekindle a relationship that's run out of fuel. And communication, it's still everything. I know it's tempting to scroll before bed, but you'll get way more out of talking to your spouse, really talking before you turn out the light. So the cheat code for long-term relationships is this. Instead of replaying old memories or wishing you could go back in time, create new shared experiences instead. Something that neither of you have done before. It's about doing, not wishing. And this one doesn't just apply to partners or spouses. It works for all of our long-standing relationships. Parents, siblings, even lifelong friends. And speaking of friendships, let's talk about what happens to them as we progress through life. Okay, cheat code number 2 is for friendships. Why does it seem like midlife destroys friendships? We lose touch with the friends of our youth, our college friends, the co-workers we thought we'd stay in touch with. And it's not that those friendships didn't matter, but most of us, we build relationships based on whatever stage of life we're in at the time. And when that stage ends, the friendship usually fades as well. So it's not that midlife destroys our friendships. It's just that we've exited yet another life phase. But this stage is even more different than the ones before it. In midlife, we guard our peace more. We tend to be more protective of our emotional energy. And we also accept that time is not an unlimited resource. At this point in life, we may be carrying more responsibilities than ever. Aging parents, adult kids, demanding jobs, maybe multiple jobs. All of that without the energy that we had 15 years ago. I know that I'm busier today than I've ever been in my life. So maybe it's by design that our circle tends to get a little smaller at this stage of life. And the cheat code is to keep only the people in the friendships that truly add value to your life. The ones who listen, the ones who make you laugh, the ones who check in once in a while. Those are the friendships to protect and invest in. And that's exactly the qualities that we want to exhibit in ourselves as friends. And just let the others fade without guilt. And just know that in this stage of life, it's better to have quality than quantity. But what if you're looking around and there's no friends in sight? Because that's common, especially in today's world. But don't give up. Because the myth is that older adults can't make new friends. But that's just not true. So cheat code number 3 is to rediscover your third place. Okay, we talked about in cheat code number 1 about evolving long-term relationships through new experiences. But that same idea is the secret to making new connections. And you can do that by rediscovering your third place. Home is our first place, and work is usually our second place. But what else is there? Life was much different growing up in our generation. There were bowling leagues, bunco nights, arcades, record stores, bookstores, even that same Friday night restaurant or neighborhood bar. You showed up often enough, you saw the same faces, and friendships, they just happened. Now everything's online. Even before 2020 pushed us inside, our third places were already disappearing. So the cheat code for new friends is to intentionally create or reclaim a third place now. It could be a dog park, a coffee shop, the gym, Friday night football games, live music, anywhere that you can show up regularly and recognize familiar faces. It might even be attending a class or learning a new skill, because it's usually the third or fourth appearance that starts making a place into a community. And third places, they reconnect us. But community isn't just where we show up. It's also in how we give back, which gets us to our next point. Okay, cheat code number 4 is community. What does that even mean? Being community-minded, that can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. Maybe it's picking up trash in your neighborhood, attending worship services or volunteering, getting involved in town hall forums or city projects. Or maybe it's as simple as just being friendly and courteous and practicing the golden rule. But the common thread with all of these is that they're not one and done tasks. They're things that you do consistently. Now, I pick up litter in my neighborhood pretty regularly, and the day after I do it, there's trash there again. So does me picking up the litter stop others from littering? Well, no, it doesn't appear that it does. Will returning your shopping cart make everyone else want to return theirs? Probably not. But sometimes doing the right thing is contagious, even if you never see the ripple effect. And community isn't about getting credit. It's about making your world just a little bit better, one action at a time. It's like being a quiet public servant for the area that you live in, doing small, meaningful things that make your space a little better. So the cheat code is choose one thing that you can do regularly that helps or encourages someone in your community. It doesn't have to be huge. It just has to be consistent. And who knows? Maybe a friendship or two could blossom from it as well. Okay, cheat code number 5 is solitude on purpose. Now here's the one for all the introverts out there. Choosing to spend intentional, reflective time alone can make you a better friend, a better partner, a better parent, a better caregiver. Alone time isn't just withdrawing from society. It's maintenance when it's done right. It's how you reset your emotional operating system. So this cheat code is to reboot yourself regularly. It sounds simple, but for many it's not. Maybe being alone makes you feel uncomfortable. Maybe solitude feels like loneliness. And if that's you, don't just force it. Have a plan. Have a small agenda. Something more than scrolling or watching TV. Start short. Maybe just 30 minutes to start and build from there. And use that time to recharge your battery and clear your head. Because once you're recharged, you'll naturally want to re-engage. Okay, cheat code number 6 is small talk for the win. Let's talk about the underrated power of talking about the weather. Because research shows that those tiny, casual chats that some people loathe, the ones that you can have with your barista, your grocery store clerk, your neighbor, they actually make a big difference in our well-being. Psychologists even have a name for it. They call it weak ties, or the power of passing encounters. And here's what they can do for you. It'll protect against loneliness and low mood. And remember, they've done research on this. And it reminds us that we still belong to the wider world out there. And the only catch that they found in the study is that both people need to feel safe doing it. So come on, Gen X. We were raised on small talk before the digital age ever took over. Even if we feel a little rusty at it, we still have the instincts to read the room. So here's your cheat code and your homework is just start a conversation. Next time you're at the grocery store, the coffee counter, the post office, say something. And yes, it can even be about the weather. Because every time you do it, you create this micro connection, and that is important. And in a world that's growing more and more disconnected, it's up to us to keep that language alive. So connection used to be automatic. Now it's an active skill that we have to maintain. So let's just put a few of these pointers in practice. Because staying human, that's the best cheat code. So let me know. Did this video vibe with you or maybe not? Drop it in the comments. I read them all, and I would love to hear your ideas on this as well. And if you'd like just a bit more along this topic, watch this video here on how the 80s taught us how to live better lives. I've linked it right here. I'll be back in a few more days with another video. As always, have a great week. I'll see you again soon. Bye.